Hello everyone, welcome to the third in my series on Nakshatras. We're looking at Krittika Nakshatra, situated in Aries and Taurus, 2640 Aries to 10 degrees of Taurus in your chart. It's a destructive, it's a violent, but it's a very powerful nakshatra. Use the energy wisely. Also, let's understand exactly what are Vedic nakshatras on this video and how to see them in your chart. So, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. If the video is good for you, give it a thumbs up. Let's go. First of all, everyone, what exactly are the nakshatras? Why are they so important in astrology, and when and where do we use them? Put simply, the nakshatras are the night sky, or the stars in the night sky, the constellations we see in our galaxy. They're actually linking us to the higher lokas and bringing our karmas down in a mystical way through the nakshatra into the rasi, into our life. Parashara has written, God has decorated the heavens with constellations like pearls on a dark steed. The light of the sun hides them in the day, and all knowledge of them is divined in the darkness of the night. The word nakshatra actually means protecting the night from destruction. What is being protected from destruction? Our minds, because these nakshatras are moon ruled, because the moon is the lord of the night sky, and only in the night sky do we see these constellations. In the same way, sun is the lord of the daytime, lord of the day, and he rules the sun signs, of course, the rasis or zodiac signs. And both the moon and the sun are working together in this way. Nakshatra and rasi, zodiac signs, working together, we have real astrology. Don't forget, the stars are the basis of astrology. The rasis or zodiac signs come from the nakshatras, not the other way around. In fact, they can never be separated. Nakshatra must always fit in with the rasi exactly. With the sidereal zodiac, this is always happening. If they are in any way separated, true prediction, true astrology is not possible. Let me illustrate this for you. Here's an illustration, everybody. Kara Pandit Sanjay Rath of the 27 Nakshatra scheme. It shows us perfectly how they map mathematically together with the rasis. On the outside are the 27 Nakshatras, and every pada mathematically and perfectly linked with the sidereal zodiac on the inside. And more importantly, there are actually 3 portions to the nakshatra scheme. Can you see 3 equal divisions that are occurring at each Gandanta break? Gandanta is where water sign meets fire sign. Cancer, Leo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Pisces, Aries in the sidereal zodiac. And these Gandanta dangerous crossings, danger points, switch points, affect all of our karmas. And this break, this threefold division of this nakshatra mandala is very important because it is relevant to our lives. First is the early childhood and adulthood portion of our lives. Second section is our middle adulthood. And third, late or old age. And you map these in your own chart, starting with your birth nakshatra, the moon nakshatra. More than that, you can even make exact predictions of every single nakshatra and meaning in your life from your Janma Nakshatra. So many predictions can be made. I will definitely make some future videos bringing these up for you. Right now, let's start with the basics. Let's understand the 27 nakshatras in this series, and most importantly, the ones that you should be looking out for in your birth chart. So which nakshatras matter in your chart? Well, I've just shown you every single nakshatra, whether a planet is there or not, can be used to make predictions. But definitely, wherever there are grahas, including Rahu Ketu, those nakshatras are important for you. But still, let's cut it down to the bare basics, everybody. I would say there are 4 important positions in regard to nakshatra that you definitely need to study and to understand. First and foremost is the moon or Janma. Janma means birth nakshatra. This is most important. Now, the moon is the mother, and the moon Janma Nakshatra actually relates us genetically to our mother's biological line. Some of that psychological and biological karma coming down is actually shown in this nakshatra. And secondly, moon is society. So moon Janma Nakshatra shows us how we get on with other people, how we move in society. So much of our outer experiences in life can be seen from this Janma Nakshatra. And many fundamental personality traits can be seen from the moon Janma Nakshatra, definitely. Not from the Lagna so much, not from ascendant, ruler, ascendant, all of that. No, it's the moon, it's the mind, it's the Janma Nakshatra. Don't forget, personality changes all the time. As you get older, you'll see it clearly. Personality develops through life, changes just like the moon. So study your Lagna or Ascendant Nakshatra. This will show you how you integrate yourself with society as a physical body. What do you look like? How do you dress yourself? How do you present yourself to other people as a physical being? And how intelligent are you? Or more importantly, actually, what do you do with your intelligence? How do you make decisions? And very important, do not delegate understanding of the sun, of Surya or Ravi Nakshatra. This is so important. How do you maintain vitality? So much to do with health, actually. Lagna and Nakshatra, some way to do with health, but sun, very much so. And how do you maintain dharmic action, righteous action, and spiritual development also linked with the sun nakshatra? And definitely understand your Atmakarika Nakshatra. This is so important. Atmakarika means the highest degree planet in your chart. This contains a whole heap of karma that will bring very difficult circumstances into your life. Lord of this nakshatra, Lord of this Atmakarika nakshatra will help you actually to deal with these karmas. Important to understand, most definitely. By the way, if you're not sure what is your highest degree planet, check at the bottom of my description box. There's a website there where you can bring up your birth chart with the Atmakarika listed, and indeed all of the nakshatras in your chart. Krittika Nakshatra, between 2640 Aries and 10 degrees Taurus in the sidereal zodiac, of course. The Lord is the sun, the symbol is the razor or the knife, and the deity is Agni, the god of fire. The color is white and the purpose is karma or pleasure. The direction is the north and the body part, the head. The knife, the blade, is a symbol of Krittika. Why? Because the word Krit means to cut and actually Tika means challenge. So there is a challenge, there is some difficulty which you must cut through, which you must divide. It's a quite violent nakshatra, rising to every challenge, sometimes in a very destructive way. The good news is the Krittika Nakshatra people have this strong in their chart. Act fast in emergencies. Act quickly to make decisions, to cut through all of the unnecessary stuff. Get to the point. They will certainly be straight talking, very, very attractive actually in their courageous demeanor, but there can be a destructiveness too. Let's first of all understand about the ruler of this nakshatra, the sun. Now, the sun as the ruler of Krittika is the creative force, is the actual energy of Dharma. So, Krittika people must be careful with their actions. When they deviate from righteous action, very negative karma can come into their life. They have to be aware of this at all times. And the sun's number one dharmic principle is truthfulness, honesty. So at some point in the life of everybody with a strong Krittika Nakshatra point in their chart, you will be tested about this dharmic principle, telling the truth. Watch out for the moment and do it bravely. It's really important. Sun's other dharmic principle is protecting others, supporting others, guiding others, being a shining light to other people in some capacity. Krittika people have the ability to support others, to use their dynamic, courageous nature to help those who need their help. It's really important. Don't forget that moon is exalted also in this nakshatra. In addition to strong, courageous leadership or potential for it with this Krittika Nakshatra, there is a sustaining energy, a healing energy, because the moon is about sustaining life. These factors are reflected in Agni, the god of this nakshatra, the fire god. The fire god has two faces. One side he will destroy. Completely fire energy is destructive. On the other hand, he will sustain life. Cooking, food, heating, so many ways. Fire is a beneficent factor in our world, but can also be one of total and utter destruction. So in the same way, Krittika Nakshatra people can burn everything down in their life with a tremendous destructive force, literally, or they can be sustaining, helpful, creative people who bring a lot of good into the world. It's a choice that they must be always aware of. And one of the principal factors about Agni Deva is that he's actually known for his passionate nature, highly sexualized nature. This is something that is definitely going to be there when you have Krittika Nakshatra very strong in your chart. It needs to be controlled, or actually it can cause difficulties in your intimate relationships. Of course, Krittika spans two signs, and there are definite differences here. Aries Krittika brings Mars into play, so the fighting nature becomes especially strong when you have planets in the Aries section of Krittika. You become impatient, you become charging in where the eagles dare to tread, etc. But you can deal with many problems, many difficult situations swiftly and efficiently if there is good aspect to any planet in the Aries Krittika. It becomes more complex in the Taurian part. Yes, Moon is exalted here, but still Venus, you see, Venus, ruler of Taurus, is not a friend in any way to the Sun, who is ruler of this nakshatra. So there is a conflict in your inner being when you have planets in the Taurian sector of Krittika. You see, Sun and Venus have a totally different agenda. Sun is a very independent planet. Venus is dependent, relationships, bonding, children, romance, right? So there is a conflict. There can be jealousy, manipulation happening, all of these relationship or otherwise difficulties when you have planets in this Taurian part of Krittika. Even the moon, who might be near to exaltation degree, still there's an element of anger underneath which you have to control. But moon generally in exaltation is a definite benefic thing. You will fight for your family. That's the thing. However, wherever you have Lagna or planets in Krittika, whether it's Aries, Taurus, doesn't matter, you get a magnetism, you get a very strong aura presence, a really dynamic presence actually, because the sun gives you this light coming from you, this powerful presence, and you draw people to you. You can become attractive, dynamic, full of charisma actually, depending on the aspects. And you enjoy this as well because the sun gives, as I say, strong ego here, and you like attention. You will draw attention to yourself. Even if you don't think you're actually doing that, you will naturally do it. And this is a big conflict for all Krittika Nakshatra people because you have this power, you have this Shakti power, you have this ability to deal with situations in a very powerful way that makes you leader, courageous, all of the things I've been talking about. But do you get into ego, name and fame? Then you go on the downward spiral, or do you go upwards to support and protect others? That's the purpose of the knife. That's the purpose, to protect, to defend. Why is this? You see, Mangala, Mars, god of war, was born in this nakshatra. So that is the sort of power we are dealing with. Mangala's number one force actually is for good. He is a friend to the sun, and his number one purpose is to protect. Protect family, protect the nation, protect the weak, protect the vulnerable. This is what Krittika Nakshatra must do. You must be there to protect, to fight for others, not to fight for your own aggrandizement. That becomes the most important thing. Which is why people who are leaders in any capacity, politicians, commanders, generals of the army, of course, but generally speaking, managers, anybody who is managing other people, commanding other people, you can become very decisive, very, very effective when you have Krittika strong in your chart. But it should be done for the good of the team, not just for yourself. That's the point. But even while you are doing all these inspiring things in the world, leading others, protecting others, inside you there will be a conflict. There will be this fire conflict. Why? Because Krittika Nakshatra sometimes feel a little bit like outsiders. They feel outside of the social norm in some way, social cultural norm, because of this inner dynamic energy. They just can't relax, fit in easily. That's a problem. You see, most of all, Krittika Nakshatra people don't fit in their communication. They can be blunt. They can say it like it is. They can cut to the quick of any situation. People will be thinking, why did he or she say that? How can they just come out with that? That is a reaction that Krittika people often inspire. You see, the cutting energy of this Krittika is also a criticism factor. They are very critical people. They can see through things, even see through people, but they can analyze very, very deftly. This is great for students, academic people, but in normal social life, it can become a little bit disruptive sometimes. So people influenced in this way by this Krittika energy can be definitely misunderstood. Only people who are very close to you understand your really good intention. This is what can be seen. And internally, one thing you'll always be struggling with is the impulse to say it, the impulse to do things quickly, decisively. That may be disturbing to other people. That's what you have to watch out for. What impact are you having on others? Sit and think about it if you have strong Krittika in your chart. So being misunderstood, being ostracized, all of these things can happen to Krittika Nakshatra people. They become frustrated, easily angered. Anger management course, some way to calm down anger will make a big difference for anybody strongly influenced by Krittika. A lot of Krittika Nakshatra energy can, however, seem very negative, very dynamic and violent and dangerous, when actually all it is the Kundalini energy got stuck in the base chakra, the lower bodily chakra. So there is so much anger, frustration, high sexuality, jealousy, and all of these things happen because you are not allowing this Shakti to flow. So it's excellent if you have strong Krittika in your chart. Hatha yoga, pranayama practices, anything where you are relaxing and not letting this energy get stuck. That is the most important thing. And releasing all of this frustration and anger is definitely going to help, because it's going to make wherever Krittika is in your chart flow smoothly and more creatively. It's a tremendously creative nakshatra. So if you've got Lagna here, you are definitely creative, decisive, make fast decisions, yes, but you may burn your bridges too quick and antagonize others. Something to be aware of. The moon in Krittika, a very dynamic personality, a real presence, a real charisma will be there. But are you supporting others, or are you just burning them up with your magnetism? That's the thing. Moon is about supporting. You must support, nourish others with your dynamic energy. That's the key. You have the sun in here. Sun may be exalted in the Aries part, but either way, it's a real turning point, because this is a sun rule nakshatra. Spiritually, it's a big evolutionary moment for you. A big fight, though, going on within you between the lower energies and the higher energies. If your Atmakarika, highest degree planet, is here, many times you have to burn your bridges in life. You have to chop through literally very, very difficult circumstances, face challenges, opposition, difficulty, and it can seem extremely tiring, all of these challenging situations coming up. But if you deal with them competently, you will become more confident and actually gain power in your life and even admiration. But it's a definite challenge due to past karmas, and you have to rise to it. But say you've got Venus as your Atmakarika, you see some planets mightn't want to do it. They're more gentle planets, but still you have to learn decisive action to deal with challenge in your life. So in summary, for everybody with Krittika strong in their chart, avoid ego, avoid aggrandizement. Me, look at me, I'm so wonderful. You're wonderful, you've got so much power, Shakti, but give that power to others, protect them. Remember, Mangala was born here and his purpose is to protect. So is yours. Hope the video was instructive to you. Look forward to your comments. Don't forget to sub below if you're new. Goodbye for now and God bless everyone.